Hey, I'm Abby and welcome back to the Life Work Balance YouTube channel. Today I want to talk to you about transferable skills. Transferable skills are your secret weapon in the job search process. But before I jump into those, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you're looking forward to learning about transferable skills and what skills you have and how they apply to the types of jobs that you're looking to apply to. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell so that you can receive life work balance advice delivered directly to you every Sunday. Like I mentioned earlier, transferable skills are your secret weapon to bridging the gap to apply to a different job in a different industry, or if you have no work experience and you're looking to apply to your first job. You have transferable skills that are either hard or soft. Figuring out what your transferable skills are and being able to communicate those during an interview are essential to your job search success and ultimately getting hired into a new position. Transferable skills help you prove that you can do the job even if you haven't done it before. So like I said, if you are applying to a new job, a job that you've never done before or a role that you've never held before, transferable skills can help you get that job. If you're applying to a job in a completely different industry, transferable skills can help you get that job in that completely different industry. And if you've never had a job before, say you're fresh out of school, maybe it's been several years since you've held a job, transferable skills can help you get that job that you're applying to. Transferable skills are your way of demonstrating that you can do the work, even if you haven't done it directly in the past. So let's talk about the two different types of transferable skills. We've got hard skills and soft or life skills. Hard skills are more of those measured competencies, and hard skills are more consistent from job to job or industry to industry. So for example, a hard skill might be your ability to work in Microsoft Excel. Your ability to use Microsoft Excel won't change drastically between one experience to another. You may grow that skill over time, but it's not going to be an overnight switch. Another example of a hard transferable skill is your ability to code in a different computer language. So for example, if you know Java or C++, your knowledge of that computer language will come with you from job to job. So those are considered hard transferable skills. Those are things that you can learn over time that are teachable and trainable. Soft or life transferable skills, while you can learn them over time and while they are teachable, are not as easily quantifiable or measurable. So when you're considering how to figure out what your transferable skills are and in what situations or scenarios you actually learned these transferable skills or use these transferable skills, think back to a time where you worked on a project, whether it was a work project or a school project, a volunteer project, something like that. Think about any time that you worked on a team or in groups or even one-on-one with another person. Transferable skills come about through all different types of experiences, whether it's paid experience, volunteer experience working for large organizations, or even experience working for yourself or working alone. So let's talk about the 6 most important transferable skills for you to demonstrate during an interview and during the job application or job search process. The first is your ability to communicate. Being a good communicator sets you up for success in many different ways. And communication happens primarily in 2 different ways: verbally and non-verbally. Non-verbal communication includes things like body language, but also includes written communication, like writing an email, writing a text message, writing social media content. It also comes in the verbal form of communication. So this is actually speaking to another person or speaking in some way, shape, or form. Communication is essential in every single job. There is not one job where communication is not an important skill to have. So whether you're working in customer service or you're even working one-on-one with a vendor or a different person in your work group, communication is essential to your success. So when you're thinking about times where you may have exhibited exceptional communication, think of a time where you may have engaged in customer service. Think of a time you may have engaged in conflict resolution. Think of a time where you may have had to stand up and present information, whether to a large group at like a conference or a large meeting, or at a smaller scale where you had to maybe convince, influence, or motivate other people. Having concrete examples of your exceptional or really good communication skills in both a written or nonverbal format and in a verbal or spoken format will help you communicate your experience during the interview and the job search process. So communication and the ability to communicate effectively is a really important aspect of almost every job. If you are a poor communicator, even if you get a job, you may not be able to hold on to it for very long. So being able to demonstrate your ability to communicate effectively is going to help you not only secure or land the job, but keep it after you've actually been hired. The next transferable skill that is essential to your success in the world of work includes your intrapersonal skills. So this somewhat goes hand in hand with communication. Your intrapersonal skills are your ability to work well with other people, which again is essential in the world of work because it's unlikely that you will have zero contact with anyone else. Even if you're working by yourself, you will likely have communication with other people in your organization, customers, vendors, people that you're serving, people that you're providing a product to. So no matter what, having good interpersonal skills is essential to your success in not only the job search and the interview process, but also your longevity in the job. So in order to come up with examples or ideas of times where you were able to really have good or positive interpersonal skills, think of your experience working with others, whether this is one-on-one, in teams, in groups, things like that. Also, think of times where you may have engaged in conflict resolution. When did you use those communication skills to really create and maintain positive working relationships with others? The third important type of transferable skill is your analytical and problem-solving skills. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to be able to do math really well or know Excel really well. Analytical and problem-solving skills are applicable in practically every single job that you could potentially apply to. So this is your ability to not only solve problems, but to figure out what the problem is to begin with. So whether you're working in retail and you have an upset customer who has come to you because they can't find a specific piece of clothing or an item, you will have to problem solve with them to locate that item. And if you're unable to locate the item, do something else to help meet their needs, like maybe create a special order for them or find the product online and help them order it for themselves. So having strong analytical and problem-solving skills is essential to your overall success in any given position. So think about a time where you had to engage in problem solving and how is it relevant to the jobs that you're applying to? The next important type of transferable skill is your ability to organize, manage your time, and plan. This includes things like prioritization, multitasking, bringing structure when there maybe isn't much structure. You likely have experience planning something, whether it's planning a project for work, planning a vacation for your family, planning your meals for the upcoming week. So you likely have experience planning, organizing, and managing your time in some way, shape, or form. So think about the experiences that you have where you've been able to engage in these three different types of things: organization, planning, and time management. You'll want to come up with concrete examples of how you have engaged in those types of behaviors and how it applies to your success in the position that you're looking to apply to. So we've got two additional transferable skills that I want to share with you. The first is leadership and management. Regardless of if you have supervisory or formal leadership or management experience, having the ability to lead or manage others, especially in an informal way, can go really far when it comes to your success in the world of work. Have you had times where you've had to motivate or influence other people? Have you had times where you were in charge of a project that other people were a part of and you had to delegate to them or assign work to them, and then also keep track of how their progress was coming along? Any group project that you were likely a part of during your education process likely required some sort of leadership and management skills of the group that you were working with. So if you have any experience leading others in some sort of capacity, think of what those situations might be and figure out how it relates to the position that you're applying to. Having the ability to lead others, to motivate them, to influence them, can be really beneficial in any type of job, regardless of if it is an official management or supervisory role or more of an individual contributor role where you're going to be interacting with other people, but still have to use those skills to meet the goals of your position, the goals of the organization, the goals of your team. And finally, the sixth transferable skill that is really essential to your success, not only in the job search process, but also in the job overall, once you've landed it, is your ability to manage yourself. Have you ever had a time where you've had to do something work-related that you don't necessarily want to do? You might notice that you're procrastinating or dragging your feet, and at the same time, it's also something that would be helpful for you to get done. So being able to manage yourself, being able to motivate yourself to actually do those things that you don't necessarily want to do, but maybe have to do as a part of the job, is important. There are many times in our lives where we have to do things we don't necessarily want to do. And sure, we could choose not to do them, but there are likely consequences associated with that. Like, for example, I may not like taking out the trash, but if I don't take out the trash, it's going to build up and build up and build up. Soon my home might stink. I might start to attract bugs and other things that I don't necessarily want in my house. So I'm probably going to take the trash out even though I don't necessarily want to. You will likely experience something like that in your job. And being able to identify and talk through how you were able to actually manage yourself, motivate yourself, and the results of that action will be beneficial to you in the interview process, and those skills will be beneficial to you in the overall job. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Hopefully you have a little bit more clear idea of the different types of transferable skills that apply to you when you're applying to these new jobs, and how you're going to be able to communicate those types of transferable skills during the interview process to really identify that you are the best and most qualified candidate for this role, even if you don't have exact experience doing the exact role that you've applied to. Being able to communicate and articulate these transferable skills will set you above other candidates and will really help showcase how you truly are the best fit for this position. If you did find this video helpful, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you have any additional questions, comments, thoughts, or ideas on transferable skills, throw them in the comments box below. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell so that you can continue to receive life-work balance advice delivered directly to you every Sunday. And if you found this video helpful and you're hoping to explore your own transferable skills at a deeper level, please consider contacting me for one-on-one coaching. We can either do an interview strategy session or set up just general career coaching sessions where I can help you explore your transferable skills and help you articulate how they relate to the jobs that you're hoping to apply to. If that's something you're interested in, go ahead and check out my information in the description box below. You can check out my website. You can even email me directly. I hope to hear from you soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.